Testing. I think we're on now. Great. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chad Royer, and this is my channel, What's Happening with Chad Y. Royer. And I just had to apologize. I had a major glitch with the setup where I thought I was live and it was not. So I was just testing my system to make sure that we're ready to go. And it looks like we are ready to go. We're 30 seconds in, so this is good. Let's just get started. Brief reminder, for those who have not done so, feel free to share my channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications, and leave a comment or two. Let me know what's on your mind. Now, the reason for this video, about a year ago, in the fall of 2024, I was having a lot of difficulty moving around. I could barely walk independently. There were times where I couldn't walk at all. There were times where I had to figure out what I was able to do and not able to do based on the situation at hand. So in a nutshell, walking was something difficult to do, if not impossible. And to speed up to now, we're in the fall of 2025, I am able to walk by the grace of God. I'm grateful for that. And this doesn't come without any adaptations that I have to do. I can't move as fast or as swiftly as I would like to. I would have to move around with some limitation, with some adaptation. I gotta be careful how I lift things up. So mobility still has its challenges right now, but a dramatic difference is that I can walk, and I'm grateful. Now, let's go back in time where I had no idea that I was diagnosed with cancer. I didn't even think that cancer could have been something that caused my problem or exasperated my problem. So, just to give you an example, of what was going on. I was going to my pain management doctor, and I have to thank you, Jake, for that recommendation. I've been seeing their practice for some time, getting the injections to alleviate back pain that was making it difficult for me to walk pain-free. I would take things like Tiger Balm. I would take things like mineral ice. I would use these patches even now. So I use patches like this, capsicum, hot pepper patches. Those are very hot. You can put them on any body part, but for me, they were going straight on my back. I was stretching as much as I could up to pain tolerance. And although the stretching would help at a time, the problem still persisted. There were times where I had to say, if I'm going to be able to go outside, and I absolutely had to go outside, I needed to use one of these back braces. So if you haven't worn a back brace like this before, this is in the plastic. I hope I don't ever have to use it. They're designed to keep your back straight and constricted so that you're not able to move so much or too much, and it puts you in a position where you're able to walk upright. It alleviates some of the pain, and although you are not able to bend and flex too much, at least you could cautiously move your body and avoid some of the risk factors involving falling, taking a bad step, or getting hit by something. And it was because of those things and me not knowing of my cancer diagnosis that I have endured a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. There were times where I would bite my fingers and I would cry with the pillow over my head. I would have never thought that walking would be so difficult. And there was a point in time where I thought I would never walk again. That's how bad it had gotten. Even so, I did what I could to the best of my ability until things got worse. I had a freak accident where I fell to the ground, and I can't remember if I was wearing my back brace or not. I think I was wearing my back brace, and I had to be helped back home. And from that point, I was not able to walk. I was not able to stand. I was not able to sit without the pain rushing up. If I was standing, I would have to reach for something above to keep me erect. And if I let go, the pain would just shoot up and I would be bawling. I would be screaming. With the doors closed, you could hear the screaming. It was that bad. I was not able to, how do I say this? I had to recreate a bathroom because it took a lot of effort to get to the bathroom, a lot of effort to leave the bathroom and get back to the bed. And there were some times where I was halfway in motion and I had to turn around because the pain was just too much. It was just too much. This did nothing. This did nothing. This did nothing. There was no reason for this because I couldn't move around. I would try to do some stretching exercises, but it never fixed the problem that I had. And that was the time where I was heavily convinced that I needed surgery for my back. I had no idea what was causing the issue. Actually, no. I had an idea of what the issue was. It was disc related, but I didn't realize how much more was happening. So if you have a disc and it protrudes through the sac, it pinches on nerves. And when those nerves get agitated, sometimes the nerves send signals down the leg or down both legs. And that's where sciatica becomes a thing. So in my case, I thought there were several more nerves being activated because of this situation. Now, if I could bring you to what I was not able to do, let's start with some of the things at home that I was not able to do. I could not walk to the bathroom independently. When I had to use the bathroom, I had to hold on to the door and the hinge, the back of the door, to try to prop myself up and hold on to the top of the door. I had to reach for a nearby table to press the palms of my hand to keep myself from falling. I could not answer the door. I could not walk to the kitchen. I could not stand up to change my clothes. I had to change my clothes while I was in bed. So I was able to do that. I was not able to, well, I tried not to sneeze because if I sneezed, the pain was excruciating. I had to cough. Sometimes I had to try to drink water, but then eating, oh yes, I forgot about this one. The eating was the most difficult situation that I had to deal with because I would be lying with pillows elevated and something under my leg just to try to mask the pain. And I would have to have the food served to me and I would eat what I could while I was lying down. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous because when you're eating, you want the food to go down. Gravity points things in the downward position, but if you're lying across, it takes longer. So I had to try to prop myself up, sometimes even stand unassistedly, right? And hopefully the food will go down and then I will be able to use the bathroom. So, what prompted the seriousness of the matter was when I realized that I could not go to the bathroom. Like there was nothing there. It would be 2 days. I think it was 2 days, 3 days that I started using the bathroom, and then the time would be far apart. There were some days where I couldn't use the bathroom, so I had to try to empty as much as I could. And it got to the point where I refused food because I knew if I ate, it would lodge in my system and I couldn't get it out. It was a very difficult situation, very difficult. And the choice of foods, it was soup, it was eggs, light stuff, juices. Um, I had to really figure out what was going to work for me. And then the things that I could not do outside, well, I had to be outside in order to be do anything. So I could not do pickups and drop-offs for the kids, could not do grocery shopping, could not do laundry, I could not go to the post office. I had to take a leave from the community board once I realized that I was not able to travel independently. So my last meeting was a committee meeting on the community board. I wasn't able to make the general meeting in October. So October was the last general meeting, last meeting actually, that I've been to before I took leave of absence, still not knowing that I had a cancer diagnosis. I couldn't run. I could not, well, just imagine the things that other people would do while they're outside. I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to do it. And this lasted all up until the point where I had my back surgery in December. And the procedure I had is called kyphoplasty. So kyphoplasty, the surgery is designed to use cement to hold structures within the spine to prevent more deformation of the spine structure and to correct the problem that was caused by the cancer diagnosis. By that time, I already knew I had the cancer diagnosis because I had to crawl onto the stretcher to go to the ambulance, to go to the ER, to be transferred from the ER to the place where I got the diagnosis from. That was about 4 to 5 days later. And from that point, I realized that I had the cancer diagnosis and everything started to add up. I was in a hospital bed. I had to be carted. I had to be wheeled everywhere until the surgery. And by the time I had the surgery, I was still in a place where it was difficult for me, or rather impossible for me to walk. I had to learn from baby steps. So I had to transition myself onto a wheelchair. I had to transition myself to the walker with the wheels. They call it a rollator. I had to practice standing up on my own. I had to practice sitting down. It was very difficult, and I could see the frustration in the medical staff's faces because they knew I was trying, but I just physically couldn't do it. I had to practice walking up and down in the room to walk back with assistance, by the way. I took baby steps. I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the structure. I didn't have the means to do it, but I had the desire. So I had the luxury of having the opportunity of having physical therapy while I was in the hospital, where they tested what I could do. They got me to do some exercises, some thrusts, some strides, arm movements, which side is weaker, which side is stronger. And I got to tell you, I honestly felt that 1 week of physical therapy in the hospital was not enough. But in the grand scheme of things, I was able to make it home for Christmas with 1 week to spare so I could spend time with the children. And I can't tell you how many times that I cried because I knew I was going to surprise my kids in time for Christmas. And mind you, they really didn't have any idea what was happening until they visited me in the hospital and we explained it to them. It must have taken me up to February. What am I right? February, or was it February? Or was it March that I started to walk a little independently? I think I want to say February, but I was still heavily dependent on the walker, the rollator, and the cane. And I had to take the advice of everybody to not do too much. And that advice holds for me today, not to do too much, because I'm still trying to learn how to get to the next level. I'm not there yet, but I'm still trying to do so. But a drastic change, I said dramatic, I just made up a word. So a drastic change. 1 year ago, I needed a back brace and I depended on meds to try to be able to walk pain-free. But now, I don't need this. I'll still use this periodically to massage the muscles. I definitely need this because stretching is what helps me a lot. Stretching helped me a lot, like you won't believe. If I felt good after stretching, I wanted to do more, and I knew that's how I was going to make the advancements that I have right now. So I'm so fortunate right now, and I thank God every day. I thank him for the big things, but especially the small things in life. And one of them being the ability to walk. I'm so grateful. I just wanted to share that with you because around this time last year, my mood was totally different. My glass is not half full, it's completely full. That's how I feel. And I'm grateful for those who supported me and their thoughts, actions, and prayers. So I've said a lot. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for listening. There's so much more to my story, and feel free to go back to my previous videos where I go through my journey as a cancer patient and the others where I speak as a cancer survivor. Please keep what matters in sight. That's a lesson from my father. I share it on to you. Thank you for your time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Please share with your folks. Leave comments so I know what's on your mind. I welcome questions. You be safe. You be well.